Okay. I'm Guadalupe Cano. I'm a native of Silver City, and I was here at Western from the spring of 1998 until the spring of 2001. And I studied English and movement science, which is now kinesiology. Campus was a pretty thriving place. It was, before the internet was really big, so people actually hung out with each other. People hung out on campus. There were a lot of organizations. I lived on campus even though I was from Silver City, so I spent a lot of time here.
Very cool. Which building did you live in?
I lived at Centennial. Although I have kind of an interesting story. I was a transfer student, and at that time they were redoing Rich when I first moved here, and the person who was doing transcript reading wasn't very good at it. So for 2 weeks I lived at Eccles, which was at that point the men's and women's dorm, and it was terrible. So thankfully it only took 2 weeks for them to move me to Centennial.
That is great.
I was crazy involved. I was in a lot of things. I was a senator and then the vice president of student government. I was the sports editor and then the editor-in-chief of the Mustang. I was the president of Newman Catholic Students, both here at Western and the statewide one. I was part of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, the Gay Straight Alliance, and MECHA, which is Movimiento, Estudiantil, Chicanx, Aztlán.
Okay, so tell us what the Mustang was like to start with then.
Yeah, well, in those days, I feel really old talking about this, but in those days it was still, we would print, cut, paste, and even use, the what's it called, that kind of glue that you had to actually make a paper to take to the printer. So that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, and then how big was the staff?
I think there was about 4 or 5 of us. MECHA was pretty active in those days. We did a lot of campaigning to make sure that students were getting what they needed. One of the big things that we did was the students were going to have just 1 summer session instead of 2. In those days there was 2 of them. I don't know if there still is, but and the administration decided to make it into 1, which would have messed up a lot of people's financial aid. So we led a protest at the Regents meeting, and we actually disrupted the groundbreaking of the GRC to prove our point, and after that the administration listened to us and changed things back to how they were.
Wow.
I worked at the museum first, and then after that I moved to the movement science department, and I did at that point the ed rec was under movement science, so I did facility management. Probably my favorite professor was Dr. Decker. She's still in the community. I spent most of my time with her. Actually, most of my classes were with her, and she was a very hard professor, but I learned a lot from her.
Okay.
So this place was home for me for so many years, and I really, really enjoyed my time here, and I want to see students continue to have that kind of a connection to Western. And because of that, I've been involved. Our Grant County chapter is really, really supportive of students and wants to be even more so. So trying to get other alums to be interested too, even though I know people are busy, it's really important to me.
Cool.
I have a lot of really good memories of Western, and I'm hoping that students now have the same kind of memories in 20 years and are giving back the same way because of that.